Today's meal will be chicken and dumplings. I'm going to use a 6-pack of bone-in thighs. And first thing you want to do is rinse the thighs off thoroughly. Place them right into the Ninja Foodie pot as you rinse. And go through each one of the 6. Make sure they're thoroughly rinsed in cold water. You don't have to cut anything off the thighs, just leave the fat and everything. Because after they're pressure cooked, you're going to place them on a plate, and then you're going to cut the meat off the bone and get rid of the fat. So the fat is just to make the chicken raw. Okay. Be sure to thoroughly wash your hands throughout the whole process. Always wash as you cook. Keep your hands good and clean. Wipe off all surfaces as you go along. Throw away all the trash as you go along. Just continues throughout the entire process of cooking. Next, you want to pour in 6 cups of water right directly over the chicken thighs. In the Ninja Foodie, I place the inner bowl back inside and just fill it with 6 cups of water. After you put the 6 cups of water, not in putting any seasoning in yet, just place the pressure cooker lid onto the Ninja Foodie. Make sure that the seal is pushed over towards seal. And the red button is down. Okay. Now it's sealed. So the next thing you want to do is turn it on after you plug it in. Turn on the Ninja. Select pressure. Keep it on high. And set the time, I would say, to about 25 minutes. Hit the start button. And the circles are gonna circle around with the dotted lines. And then when it's ready, it will start pressure cooking, and then it will count itself down to 0. At which time it will automatically go into warm mode. So let's let that cook, and we'll come back when it's ready. Checking on it, it is still working up the steam. It's been doing it for over 10 minutes. Just be patient with it, because I can smell the chicken. So it is building up the steam so that it can begin pressure cooking. So give it some more time. I put 10 more minutes on the wait time so that I can make sure I get an estimate of how long it takes to build up the steam. Keep in mind there's 6 cups of water in this chicken. So once it gets built up, it's going to start pressure cooking. And then it'll count down the 25 minutes that I put on the timer. While I'm still continuing to wait. Oh, it just began. So it was less than 15 minutes. So it's counting down now on the pressure cooking. So it's pressure cooking the chicken now. And in the meantime, I'm going to be cutting up baby carrots, celery, and onions. You can cut them up any way you want to. Sometimes I just do a random cut, but I try to make the stuff kind of smaller so it'll be like pieces in every bite. So it's up to you what you want to do. Okay, so now we're down to 11 minutes left, and we're going to come over here, and I've already cut up some of the vegetables. I've diced up the one onion that I had, the white onion. I've sliced into rounds about a third of the bag of baby carrots. Right now I have 4 celery stalks, and I'm cutting them right now. I'm using this plastic knife, which is really sharp. It really helps a lot. Okay. Just hold it steady. Just hold it, you just cut. I'm gonna get these finished. It'll still be a little bit more time left on the pressure cooker, and I'm gonna have to let it quick release, so I have to wait on that to finish up. So just continue cutting the 4 stalks like I have them. I grabbed them, bunched them together, and I'm cutting them very thin. So just continue that. Now, it just has ended the pressure mode and it's in warm mode. So what you're going to do now is do a quick pressure release. You're going to take that lever right there and switch it over to vent. So let's do that right quick. Just let it come all the way out. Now the Ninja Foodie has got completely quiet after the quick release. So now what you want to do is remove the top. You want to turn it that direction, pull it up, and look at that. That looks great. That chicken is good and cooked. So what you want to do is just set this aside over here for a while. I'm going to take each piece of the chicken out and cut it up. The Ninja Foodie chicken is so tender that I tried to fork it up. That wouldn't work. It's falling off the bone. You take a spatula like this with holes in it and just scoop it out and put it on the plate. Just like that. Do every piece. Okay. So you get all 6 pieces out. All right. See that? Looking nice. Chicken's well cooked. Remember, there was 6 cups of water. Put it on pressure cook for 25 minutes. And that cooked the meat. For whatever recipes you're going to use boiled chicken or whatever for, it's perfect because it's like, it looks boiled, but pressure cooked. And then you have that pile of chicken right there. I'm going to take all the skin off because you don't want all that fat in there. All I wanted to do is use the fat to make this broth. Any other big fat pieces of chicken you can find in there, try to scoop them out. Because we're going to make our base with this. So now let's cut this chicken up and we'll get it started. Okay, what you want to do when you're cutting the chicken, you want to put it on this plate here to cut it. Any leftover skins or anything, just put them in this little pot I got so I can separate those. Take that chicken over there, like that, and just sort of remove the skin. I'll just shred the meat right off. It's coming right off the bone. And just peel back the skin, so you don't need all that fat. You may want to keep a little fat if you want to. But I'm putting it right over in that. And just make sure you just take all that fat off. And you see it separating right from the meat. I'm going to put it in that pot right there. This is your workstation. Chicken here. Cutting station. Pot for getting rid of the skins. So while I'm getting the chicken cut up, in the meantime, before I continue, I'm going to go ahead and add this to the Ninja broth. And what I'm going to do is, it's already off of pressure cook. What do you want to do? You want to start it, and you want to start it on, wait, let's do this. Turn it off, turn it back on, select saute, keep it on high, and let it begin so that water can get boiling hot. The chicken is already pre-cooked. So now what you want to do, you want to start cooking up your celery, your carrots. See, I cook with a lot of vegetables. I love vegetables. So that's why I got so many vegetables. You can put as many as you want. But I'm going to put a lot of vegetables in here. I want this chicken and dumplings to be really vegetable-y. So first I'm going to pour my carrots in. So when they start heating up, I'm going to cook those carrots and make them good and tender. Next you want to put in your celery. Load it up. And then you want to add in your onions. Okay, there we go. Let's put those onions in there. All that in there. And sort of stir that up. It's going to be loaded with vegetables. I'm going to love this. Okay, now that you have all the vegetables in there, they'll start sauteing soon. And if you would like, you could add more water to this if you don't think it's enough water, because there's a lot of vegetables in there. And we're going to add a lot of chicken back. So what you want to do, get that cup, put some more water. Well, you might want to put hot water, since it's already a little hot already. So let that water warm up and just fill this up. Put a few cups of water in. Now the vegetables are boiling. As you can see, there's a rolling boil in there. And you just want to check to see if the vegetables are getting tender or not. You can just test one. As soon as the carrots start to be a little tender, then you want to just turn down the boiling on this. But you want to check to make sure. You could tell that see these carrots are not ready yet. So I checked that one. It still was hard. So just let it boil. It'll be okay. You can stir it up. Just let it boil. There's plenty of vegetables in there. Just like I love it. So the next thing you want to do, I already got the chicken all cut up. It's a whole plate of chicken. And look at all that extra fat and bones and stuff. You don't need all of that anymore. I used the fat to get the broth. So now what you want to do, I'm going to move this out of the way. I got this lid. I'm trying to find another spot for it. Then what you want to do, you're going to get ready to do the biscuits. So what I always do, instead of going through a lot of mud, 2 sheets of foil, put them round pizza pan that I have. Always make sure your hands are washed. I've been washing them throughout. Anytime you handle chicken or anything like that, make sure they're good and washed. And then have a towel handy, which I have a towel around my neck, and just dry the hands off. Oh, sorry about the jittery camera. Okay, right before you drop that chicken back in, what you're going to do is you're going to have 2 tablespoons of butter. This is unsalted butter. But it's okay, you can use salted or unsalted. I'm gonna put that in. Okay, next, what you wanna do is, you wanna take some olive oil and pour a little olive oil in there for flavor. Not a lot, but just pour some in. Just like that. Only had a little bit left. Just put that in there. Okay, it's constantly boiling, so right now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add that chicken back in. So let's just spoon that chicken right back in there. Let's do that right quick. That'll slow down the boiling for a second. Oh, it's hot. It is real hot, I can feel it. Okay, once you get the chicken in there, let that chicken sit in there. And now, after I wash my hands, okay, the first thing you want to do is take that pizza pan, cover it with foil, because that's going to be my surface to roll on. Pour a little bit of flour on the surface. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to do is something totally different than most people. I found some nice little tools over in the toy department at Walmart for Play Doh. So instead of busting out a giant rolling pin, I'm going to use this little neat little roller right here. It has a rolling wheel on it. And I'm going to use the smaller cans of biscuits opposed to the bigger grands. These are like buttermilk biscuits. So what you want to do is just take a biscuit, flour it up a little bit, put it on the surface, get this kind of floured up. And you're going to take that biscuit and roll that biscuit out. Yes, you're going to roll it out with this. The more flour you put on it, the better. So you might want to just flour it up real good. Just like that. And just roll that biscuit out. There you go. Just roll it as thin as you want it. I don't know how thin you want yours, but I'm going to make mine pretty thin. Because I may not load mine down. Depending on what you want. You know, if you're a diabetic or pre-diabetic, like I am, you might want to watch eating too much bread. So you might not want to load it down with biscuits, but you do want to put some strips of dumplings in there. So once you get that dough rolled out the way you want it, then you're going to take the pizza cutter that I have. I have a small pizza cutter here. And just cut it in strips. Okay. You're going to cut this in strips. And then what I'm going to do is, not only am I going to cut it that way, I'm going to cross through the middle. So now I got two sets. So that water is boiling again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this over to the water and just drop that right in on that boiling water. Drop those dumplings in. All right, there we go. Drop them in. They look so good. That's right, drop them in. There you go. Drop them right on that boiling water. That water is piping hot. I didn't know this ninja could get this hot. It's boiling hot. Just drop them everywhere. Especially in the boiling parts. Just drop them dumplings in. Just go back over and repeat. And as you go along, you're going to fold those dumplings and the chicken and everything until you get dumplings all through there. Well, like I said, I'm just going to use probably one small can of biscuits, which has about 5. So once I do that, you'll see what it looks like. And then I'm going to add one more item, which is cream of chicken. So let's drop these dumplings right quick. Once I dump these dumplings And I'm going to add the cream of chicken. I could have added before I put the dumplings, but it doesn't matter. They're all going to cook together, so it doesn't matter whether you... I could have added the cream of chicken before the dumplings, but that's okay. Everything's going to be fine. It's going to look good. It's going to taste good. So just go back over. Drop those biscuits in. Those strips. There we go. Drop them in. That's right. Get them in there. See how that looks? Put them everywhere. That's right. No way this isn't going to taste good. Okay. Once you get that in there. Right there. Okay, I got the second biscuit in there. Just continue with that till you get all the biscuits in there. Always wash your hands in between things. Okay. Once you get those hands all good and washed, go on to the next project. Okay. Now, I'm going to add some more chicken and dumplings in there. But first, I'm going to start out with a can of this. All I want to do is, once I put a can of this cream of chicken, this is not Campbell, of course. Once I get that in there, it'll slow down the boiling just a little bit. Okay, I finished making all of the biscuits. I only put one can with 5 buttermilk biscuits. And I sliced them, I rolled them real thin, and I sliced them, and it made a lot of dumplings, as you can see. You have to play with the temperature on this thing, because I had it on high, and it starts spitting up. So if you want to slow it down with the boil, just turn the temperature down. You could go all the way down to low if needed. I got it on medium high right now, because I'm trying to get these dumplings good and cooked. Once I get that done, these dumplings are going to be ready to go. Just sort of like push them down in there. Let them get that heat on them. Oh God, this is going to be good. I can tell right now. These may be the best chicken and dumplings on earth. With all that meat, all those vegetables. There's plenty of dumplings. People say you have to use the tin can. With the 10 count, you don't really have to, because I see a lot of dumplings in here. Okay. And I want more vegetables anyway. So now, let that boil for a little bit. You can even turn it down, because once it starts trying to spit, you want to turn it down. You don't want to keep it too hot. You want it hot, but you want it to cut down a little bit. So turn it on low, so it can simmer down a little bit. You could even put the lid on if you want to, so it won't spit up. So all you have to do is leave it on vent and just lay the lid on top so it won't spit up, and just keep it on low. Now while you're doing that, you can start cleaning up. First thing you want to do, put the ingredients and stuff away and start throwing other things away. Here is my quick way to clean up. What I'm going to do, this same pizza pan that I used with the foil on it, I'm going to take this chicken here, put it on there. I'm going to take this biscuit can, put it on there. I'm going to take this butter can, any other kind of stuff that you want to put on there, and just fold it over and roll it up. Simply done. Trash ready. Just like that. Get that all rolled up. Where's the trash at? Where's it at? It's all in there. Throw it out. One other item I want to discuss is when I added the cream of chicken, I added 2 cans. And I also used sea salt, salt-free seasoning mix, and also cracked pepper. So those are the spices I used in the chicken and dumplings. So let the chicken and dumplings cook about 5 more minutes. It should be good and ready. When I placed the lid on it, it was on for a little while and it started saying lid. So I took the lid back off. I still have it on low. All I'm going to do is just turn it a little bit so you can get an idea what it's going to look like. See that? That is chicken and dumplings right there. Tons of chicken, tons of vegetables in every bite. Broth, so good. You won't believe the taste. Look at all those vegetables. See, I love it. I'm going to take me a bowl of this to work tomorrow. Look at that. Chunks of meat in every single spoon. Everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's meat and vegetables. Has to be the best ever chicken and dumplings. Look at that. Like this channel. Follow this channel. Enjoy this channel. Cooking options. Such a great thing. Chicken and dumplings. This is my very first time ever cooking chicken and dumplings. And I believe they're going to be great. I found the perfect ladle spoon. Wait a minute, stop that. Here's a great ladle spoon and a nice bowl. Let's give it a try. Here we go. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Please look at that. All those vegetables. Oh, yes. Would you look at that? Let's try. Oh, it smells so good. There's no way. There's no way. I'm going to try a little bit of this right now, because this looks pretty good. Let's get some of everything. And I want noodles on there. I want meat on there. There we go, right there. And give me a carrot. I want a carrot in that. Oh, yes. Here we go. There's meat, carrots, everything. Onions. Let's try it. Oh, yes. That is so delicious. Best chicken and dumplings you could find. Like, follow. Thank you for watching. Signing off.